Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Brewer? Here. Trustee Green? Here. Trustee Jones?
Here.
Trustee Tate? Here. Trustee Todd? Here. Trustee Teton? Here.
Okay, we're going to change one thing on the agenda. We're going to bring the CETA presentation up first, and then we're going to the other part of the agenda. So if Mr. Dr. Stanberry and guests, would you please come up? Oh, and Professor Wallace, would you please come up and take a seat? They can't hear you, but you kind of either pick, yeah, you don't have to turn around, but you may have to take it out.
It sounds like it's loud.
It's not.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. It provides free services, free lights, free gas to the residents of Cook County. And we would like to, with your permission, to offer that program here in Sauk Village. Both Professor Wallace and myself are residents of Sauk Village, and there's old saying that charity sometimes begins at home. So we want to be able to provide that CETA program here for the residents. And then we have a number of other programs that are available for seniors. And I'm going to let Professor Wallace talk about some of the other programs that we do have.
Thank you. My name is Miranda Stanberry Wallace. Thank you guys for inviting us in today. I will talk to you about P.L.A.N 45, and P.L.A.N 45. P.L.A.N is an acronym for Preparing Leaders and Training Entrepreneurs. Through this program, we provide economic empowerment services and some seminars and workshops, as well as a platform to do mutually beneficial exchanges in talent, time, resources, for everybody who wants to take advantage of that program. So everybody is seen as an asset. It's grounded in asset-based community development, where we focus on the assets of the community, not the needs or deficits. It's grounded in philanthropy, so everything is done for free. All exchanges are done for free as it relates to the P.L.A.N 45 resources that are offered. As an example, I'll provide you an example. We actually just came off a successful summer empowerment tour where we toured various areas throughout the city of Chicago and south suburbs. We joined different events, from celebratory events like block parties to seminars like the CPS Financial Literacy Conference. And we ended it with a fest in Daley Plaza, cheerfully named the Imp Fest now. It was called the Empowerment Fest, where we highlighted various talent from the city of Chicago, all performed for free on the stage of Daley Plaza as a way to celebrate our accomplishments throughout the summer. And through that tour, we partnered with a foundation, the Love Foundation, and they visit us on every event that we went to, and therefore were able to raise funding for their organization, which hosts a toy drive for underprivileged, underserved youth throughout the Cook County region. So that's some of the work that we do, and we would like to do here in Sauk Village as well.
Take a look at page 2, if you will, in the brochure that we passed out. We are already past the October date for our seniors. The November date is dealing with households with children 5 and under, and then we have the December date, which everybody can come and be eligible for the CETA program. We also deal with the home weatherization program, whereby people who have a problem with their roofs or their plumbing or what have you, then CETA is able to provide that particular service also. On page 3, which is the last page, we try to make it very convenient for the recipients who come to us. So we give them this sheet, which is a pre-questionnaire. These are the kinds of things that you need in order to qualify for the program. Basically, you need your light bill, your gas bill, your Social Security card, and the last 30 days of your income. If they don't have that, then of course they can go home and get it and then come back. So what we have here is a system that we're trying to help improve our communities. We're also working with Fort Heights in their particular community, and we're also working with Senator Harris to try to develop also a program for our young men and young women who need an educational background. What we're finding out is that a lot of our individuals out here just need to be retrained. A lot of our seniors need to be retrained. This is the 21st century and it involves technology. And what we don't have is seniors who have a technology program. So our program is based on organizational development program. We work with DePaul University, Triton College, and anyone else who is interested in doing so. If you have any questions, we'll take those at this time. Trustee, take 7, I got 15 minutes.
I'm going to try not to use all of your 15 minutes. What is there that you need from us as you're a resident of Sauk Village also, but as a board, what is it that you need from us to help you to get this off the ground?
What we'd like is a facility or a space that is available for us to come in. How often that you would need us to come in. It is free. And of course, we need internet services. We do have our own laptop computers. And if you have a printer, then that would be nice. If you don't have a printer, then we have a printer too. And paper. You know, we do have those things accessible, but if you have it here, it makes it a lot more convenient. But space is the #1 priority. And also to try to notify the citizens that this program is available and that it is free.
And how many days a week or a month or the frequency?
Well, before I answer that, I do want to highlight that it would not be just getting it off the ground. This is a successful program. We've offered it in multiple areas throughout the south suburbs, and it's currently running in Harvey. What we're proposing is that we bring these services to Sauk Village to help residents overcome the barrier of transportation. So the reality is this program is very successful. You can, do your own research as far as the results, but it's throughout the city of Chicago, throughout the south suburbs. There are just limited locations, so that's why we want to bring it to Sauk Village. So the residents that don't have transportation can have access to the same program that we're offering in other communities.
So there's nothing today necessarily prohibiting the Sauk Village resident from reaching out to you?
No.
It's just a matter of, they can get to you, they already have access to you.
Exactly.
If they don't,
Then we want to bring it here only for a limited.
What we find though is that it is much more convenient
Yes.
for a resident to come within their own familiar surroundings. And by them living in Sauk Village or living in Dixmoor, living in Fort Heights, they are aware of the circumstances, so they're much more amenable to come.
Any other questions? Okay.
You mentioned that you work with Fort Heights, Dixmoor, other communities. How do you get the word out to those communities so we can help you get the word out in Sauk Village as well?
Well, I think that every resident pay light bill, gas bill, and what have you. And so when they come into the city hall, of course, flyers can be available for them to pick up to say, okay, here, we will be here on this date. This is a fillable form, and I will send it to the mayor, so to Trustee Tate, that you can fill it in the dates that you want us to come. Trustee Tate asked a question, how often do you want us to come? That depends on you. You know, how often do you need us to come? Of course, wouldn't be every day because as Dr. Wallace said, that we do have 13 other municipalities that we work with. Last year we served 2,000 people plus. And for the food certification program, we served over 500 plus. And so people they are aware that the CETA program is good, but that would depend on the trustees and the mayor.
And also, I see we have another deadline come out December 1st. So how quickly do we have to act between now and then? And then what happens after December 1st?
Quickness is a virtue.
You will have to decide on the dates pretty quickly so that we can get the capacity built in. So we have to notify the staff that are certified. Only a limited amount of staff are certified to actually conduct this program. So we will have to arrange schedules, so the sooner we get the dates, the better. The deadline that you see of November 1st only notifies the next group of folks who have access to the program. So it started off with seniors only. Now women with children under 5 can come, and then in December 1st, everybody can come. So it actually widens the circle with each date that you see. The program is very well known amongst most residents. Most people, you say CETA or LIHEAP, they know exactly what you're talking about. So there's not a sale involved here. You really just have to notify them that you are a village that's concerned about them, making sure they have heat and lights throughout the summer, throughout the winter months, and that you're offering those services on the city property grounds.
For the communities that you're already working with, what's the average as far as how many times a month you're actually on location in their facilities? Which, so Harvey, are you there once a week?
Harvey, we're there every day.
Once
Yeah, Harvey, we're there every day. Harvey is our headquarters, so we're there every day, operating every day. So everybody has access to that facility. What we're doing now is branching out into the surrounding communities and offering it at what you call this, the city hall? I'm not pulling.
Satellite.
Yeah, right. We have satellite locations because one of the barriers that we've been identified through our research is childcare and transportation. So with this understanding, we know that if we bring the services to the community members are more likely to take advantage of those services.
So for the satellite communities,
You'll have
what's the average, would you say?
So,
Are they there
we can-
twice a week, twice a month? What?
Depends upon what the mayor wants. Usually once a month, once every week, depending on how often they want to do it.
bi-weekly, it can be, but one thing I do want you to be aware of is that when you offer the program, there is a huge response from the community. So we would ask that you be prepared for the response. So we know how to conduct, we have processes in place that can help us manage the lines and things like that. But when we talk about facility needs, we do need the resources as far as being able to have seats for them and being able to have a room that you have privacy so that you can conduct, doing copying and things required for actually processing.
I think one of the things that we look at is that a lot of people are elected for public office. When I'm talking to Senator Harris, he said that, make this comment with really wrong truth, that at the end of the day, the concern is what did the trustees, what did the mayors, what did they do for the community? And so our job is to reach out to all of the communities that we can, especially in these areas. Right now, Ingle Hospital has a program that they're funding that they want to also do the same thing with the hospital that we were involved in, and we persuade them to become recipient of the OD type of arrangement. Is that we want to be able to say, okay, Sauk Village actually brought in programs, not just one program, but all of these programs that are available to the citizens of Sauk Village. Same with Dixmoor, Fort Heights. And as you know, Fort Heights is probably one of the poorest cities that's here. And so we'll have quite a bit of reception from Fort Heights because the mayor, really, I call him up, really looking forward to it.
One thing I would also like to highlight is the fact that we let the community speak for the services that they need. So when I talk about services like beyond CETA, that like P.L.A.N and resources like that, we ask the citizens what would be beneficial to them. So we let the community speak for themselves. So by doing that, the response rate has been really great. And by doing that, we have been able to connect with the community and build community with the community.
So for the residents who do meet the criteria on the back of the checklist,
Yeah.
what is the chance that they are able to get some relief? Is there like a, what's the percentage that they will get some relief? Is it like very high? Is some ever turned away?
Pretty high.
Yeah.
Most of them, understand the guidelines, and the monetary guideline is so high that they can fit within that particular guideline. And so really we have very seldom someone get turned down.
And the response is immediate. So the results that you get, you find out exactly what what benefits you received the minute your application is submitted. So that's the reason why it's important to do the checklist. We do the checklist so that they're pre-prepared before they actually engage in the application process. And so as long as they meet the guidelines on the checklist, the rate at which they are approved is very high. And they find out that day. It's not a delay.
Okay.
Do you need dedicated space?
That would be nice, yes, dedicated space.
What do you mean by that?
Where it's just, you set up and you kind of leave that space where it's at, or you come in and set back up continuously?
Yeah, if you have a dedicated space, we understand that, we're not in, it's just a suburb. So if you have a dedicated space, then that would be wonderful, but if you don't, these are satellite offices, so we do bring what we need to function that day, and then we leave it at our house. But if you have a dedicated space, like a lock
Nice.
cabin and things like that, that would be great.
Okay, I have a few questions. I see here you have job training and resource facilities. Now, and CETA's just one of them. When you come out, is it going to be, this week is CETA, next week we're talking about certification for food manager or CPA, CPR or internships or workshops? Is that all at the same time, or is it different times for these different events?
Very good question. I think that the CPR and the food certification program, if someone is interested, they can come to the main office for those to be held. However, the additional services on the bottom, there will be Mr. Forner coming along with us to work with the seniors to try to get their license plates for $35 or their free glasses for $5. Those kind of services will be available for the seniors to process at that particular time. The CPR is usually a 4-hour class. The food certification is a 5-year certification program that is offered to people who want to work in White Castle or McDonald's, McCloud, one of those restaurant facilities.
Now, you said the certifications, well, you said 2 years. Is there a cost to a person that wants to do these certifications?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure.
The certifications are at a cost, they're at our main headquarters.
Facility.
Right, so what we would use this as a touch point to finding out what services would be beneficial here. So we would definitely use this as a way for people to come for CETA, but be exposed to other alternative programs that are available to them.
All of our programs are nationally, thank you, are nationally accredited,
Okay.
which means that our certification program for food is available in all 50 states. Reciprocity is the key word, and it is 5 years. Our CPR, AED is what the ambulance basically use, so that's good for 2 years. That is reciprocity. Matter of fact, in the state of Indiana, in the state of Illinois, you cannot even renew your teacher's license unless you have your CPR from us or from an agency like us.
That's right. And my last, I just wanted you, because I know we used to deal with CETA years ago when it was actually in Chicago Heights. So could you let everyone know that CETA is not a government program? It's a private program. So could you kind of...
I'm sorry?
CETA is funded by the government, but it's not, it's private. So, I mean, could you kind of let everyone know that, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of people stating that the government should do this or the government should do that. So can you kind of just explain to everyone how CETA does work?
I used to work for the government, so. I think that the program is ran by the state of Illinois, and also government have input in funds, but it's ran by CETA itself in Cook County. Will County has its own CETA program. So basically there is no regulation that is imposed on any city. The only time the regulation is imposed would be on us and how we perform the program and meet the federal government guidelines and the U.S. Supreme Court Justice regulations.
So is any other questions? Something that we have to talk about, and we will be getting back with you quickly, soon, after we discuss it, because all you're asking basically is a space and electricity and internet.
Yes, sir.
And advertisement also. I mean, financially, that makes sense. So, so that's something that we can sure work out. And then after that, we get in touch with you to find out from you what days, you know, that you can come. Maybe you want to start off maybe once a week until you see what the crowd's going to be.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for letting us come. Yes, sir.
Question. At any given time, how many people do you need inside the facility? Understand that when you put on for the CETA and you come out to fill out the application or whatever, how many people is normally at your other facilities come in inside the facility at one time? Like, so if you said 10 o'clock, how many people normally show up?
We've served as many as 50 in one day. We have 4 or 5 ESTs, and so it can, you know, we have a space for them to sit comfortable because they are children and some of them are seniors, and then they proceed forward to the next section where they're service.
And we kind of have it down to a Six Sigma psychology. Each person can service about one person every 30 minutes, every 30 to 40 minutes. So it depends on how many workers you have at that time, at that day. And then we will not invite 200 people to come sit down when we know we can't see 200 people. So based off those kind of numbers, we hand out numbers for people that can stay, and then they kind of have an approximate time. In Harvey, it's down to a science so much that we actually give appointments. So people could come at their appointed time, and then their service within an hour range. So if you're thinking, if you think about public aid offices and places like that where they receive numbers and they sit for hours, and we try to avoid people having to spend their entire day there. So we'll give them a time bracket that keeps it within a couple hours. With that being said, you guys are more than welcome, invited to come by and see how the facility is ran in Harvey. It'll give you a good picture of what it looks like to service, and it'll also give you a big picture of what a turnout looks like. But I can imagine that the numbers, since they're concentrated in the individual neighborhoods, will be a bit larger, and especially since it's not offered on a daily.
All right. That it? Well, thank you very much. We'll be getting back with you very soon.
Thank you.
And appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Okay, the next item is the strategic plan. Did everyone get a copy? Pardon me? No. Did everyone get a copy of the strategic plan? There were some things that I made some corrections. If you can kind of look at your plan, there's some things that I corrected. I didn't reprint them because I wanted to make sure. Just keep printing doesn't make sense. So if you turn to page 20. Everybody got page 20? Awesome. And at the bottom where it says history of the problems, I'm going to take that whole section out. That's why I'm doing this, because I got some feedback, so that's why I'm doing that. Okay, page 21.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
could I interrupt you for a second? Dr. Stanberry, Professor Wallace, it's not necessary that you stay the whole meeting. But you are certainly invited to stay and listen to what we're doing. Go ahead, Mr.
Thank you. Page 21, at the top where it says organizations, all the way down to the second paragraph, ending in rising public costs, that whole section is going to be taken out. I know this is like baseball. Okay, strategic plan for progress. On the same page, everything from that beginning up until it says residents, that's going to be taken out. And where it says Mayor Burgess offers this as, is not one, but as, that'll be added. And everything else will be put in there. In other words, everything else will be included. So those are the items that I went over, and I was given some notes to say that these are some of the things that, you know, they felt. So you're going to get a real copy. I didn't want to do another one until I got everything. So you have another week. And if there's anything else other than that, please email me, write it down, stick it in my box or whatever, because I'm not going to reprint this until later part of this week. And as you guys know, Friday is a holiday. So I'll probably have this reprinted Friday in your boxes. It's a holiday, but you still can come to Village Hall. So just wanted to, if you have any other questions, anything else that you may feel that is questionable, let me know through like I said, through an email or a communication. And but those are the things I plan on taking out. And I'll go with that. Okay.
Real quickly, Mayor, before you move on, I'm having a meeting tomorrow with feedback.
Okay, well, I don't know if you'll be here in the morning, because in the afternoon I have something to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yes. All right. Okay. Item number 2, the resolution authorizing the intergovernmental agreement with Cook County for the rehabilitation, that's 223rd Street, from Torrance Avenue to Cornell, and Cornell to Sauk Trail. That's something we've gone over. This is just an agreement that we have to sign and make it a resolution. Everything has been talked about. Are there any questions on this? Because this will come up next week to be voted on, and this is the grant that we're getting from Connecting Cook County. This is what they're helping us with. This is supposed to have been our portion of the money for the street improvement, but Connecting Cook County is going to give us, well, grant us this amount of money to pay, and it's a $75,000 grant. This is supposed to have been the village portion. So basically, to do this is going to cost the village really zero. So are there any questions about that?
Question that I have, sir. After doing some research and talking to Jim Sermon
Zarnick. Jim Zarnick. He said Sermonet. You said Jim Sermonet.
Anyway, he had some concerns. I had some concerns about 223rd. A few of the loops that he gave me are in the area of 223rd. It might not be from there, because I didn't bring my information with me. But I'm concerned about spending this money, and once we get money in for 223rd to revamp the area, that it would be a waste of money, because we have already done 223rd. And a lot of those loops, I think it's at least 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, have to be resurfaced and repaved too. So my question is to you, that maybe we might, we're that has to be done, but we might want to look and postpone it until we do it all at one time, instead of wasting money to get this part done, and then we're going to get some money to do it all over again.
No, you're not going to go. Okay, this has been in the, for almost 2 years, this has been in the works.
I know that.
And if,
Loops that has to be repaved
Okay, would you explain to the rest, I know what you mean by loops. Could you explain to the board what you mean by loops?
The loops related to the infrastructure upgrades.
You can't hear this.
Okay.
The loops related to the infrastructure upgrade. Two of them, if I'm not mistaken, are in this area. Don't quote on that because I'm having those here. My concern is you're spending this money for 223rd. So once you get ready to do the infrastructure upgrade, the money will be wasted because all the areas in 200. That's what my concern is. What are we doing to like consolidate efforts for infrastructure upgrades? And we're doing bits and pieces all over the city, but a lot of these groups are in the particular areas that they
Why do we have lights?
Hold on. They can't hear you, trustee. You might want to put it closer to you. But when I'm going to try to explain, because I'm looking at people looking at me, what is that? What she's trying to state, what she is stating is the water. There are water pipes that go across Cornell, by almost where the old Village Hall used to be located. They've had two water main breaks there. And it's not a loop, what it is a pipe. And it has to be fixed, and they want to do it underneath, in other words, under the ground, where that particular one street is going to be revamped or redone. But only thing, trustee, is this whole project has been, it was already voted on, but it has been designated for a certain time with the companies that are going to do it. Everything is in place. All this is the $75,000 that we had to pay as a village is now going to be paid for by the state. However, we're trying to see if we can use and take care of those pipes that go under Cornell Avenue, almost to Sauk Trail. It's almost to Sauk Trail, but it goes under Cornell Avenue. And if we can redo those pipes before they tear it up, that's what we're trying to work on right now. I don't know where Luke came from, but this is basically the pipes, and it goes under. Now, the other part is something that we talked about before. To loop it, you would have to actually go underneath the expressway 394, and that would be considered a loop. But this is just valves and valve chambers that have to be repaired, and we were trying to see if we can get those repaired without, as you stated, tearing it up again, and that's something that we were trying to work on to make that happen. But to redo this whole program at this particular date, and everything has been taken care of, the engineers have already wrote off on it, the companies that are going to be doing excavating is already written off on it, all the work has been taken care of, and to say right now, let's stop and wait till we get the money to make that happen. With this money that's going to be doing the resurface is going to be part of MFT and CDBG. And as I stated before, we don't have to pay, the village doesn't, but it is money that comes to the village through those two entities, and then also the $75,000. So right now, if we can avert that, if we can find the money to repair those chambers, we will. If we cannot, I don't see any sense in stopping that whole project just for those particular items. And you're right, it may happen that you may have to tear up something in the city if after it's done because of the infrastructure, but we can't. Right now, we don't have the money for the different infrastructures, but we do have the money to take care of the streets, and if hopefully you're right, it may come to a water main break after you just did this, but right now to stop this whole progress from Torrance Avenue to Cornell, and then from Cornell going north to Sauk Trail, that's a lot, but I understand what you're saying.
I didn't stop. I said my concern was that we need to consolidate the effort because I know a couple of groups in this area
What do you mean by consolidate?
You know, Boston engineer doing something, Bachelor, I don't know.
No, this project is done by Baxter and Woodman.
Okay, the loops are in this area. I'm just saying, they should consolidate their effort instead of wasting money. I don't know if the money's gonna be wasted because I'm not quite sure of the area. I'm gonna say, is this the same area that they're preparing, that they want to prepare the loops for? I know the loops are in 200, there's two of them that's on 223rd. So is this the same area that's 200?
I'm still, trustee, I'm asking you, is when you saying loops, I'm trying to figure out what do you mean by loops? Because the loop means that you take the water and going one way and coming back another. But if it's a main and a water main, that's what that is a water main. But a loop means that you have two separate piping. In other words, one is a supply and one is a return. But the only loop I understand, which we don't have one, they go to the expansion tanks, are the ones that go underneath of 394 to service everything west of 394. But what you're saying is there are areas that need to be repaired along this line, but not on 223rd Street itself, but there are areas in that area that need to be repaired if they're, you know, but to consolidate, where are we going to get the money from to repair those particular items you're talking about is what I'm asking.
Okay, Route 4, just for example, sometimes constantly hearing about that. There's a Route 4 there, and
Where?
they're talking about 20 between 23rd and West Chappelle. I said this is in this area. I didn't say it's Cornell. I said it's 223rd. So what I'm saying is this particular loop is costing like $6,000. So is this particular loop going to be considered when they do the rehab on 223rd from this agreement? Are we considering putting them together?
And where we get the money from to, as you call them loops, but they're really valve chambers, but what do you,
Their loops cost, that's what I was saying, so.
okay, where we, I'm just asking.
Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying,
I understand everything you're saying except that you're calling it loops and not, well, I've never, but okay, we're not gonna go, I'm asking where are we going to get the money to repair those items?
that's my question to you.
There is no, there's,
Isn't it? Shouldn't consideration be given? They're gonna work on 23rd, shouldn't be given to the Route 4 on 23rd.
in what
So
aspect? In what aspect?
Is it that when this group on 223rd, they're working on it, and then when they get ready to do Route 4, they're gonna attempt that same area? Is that how?
No, okay, what I stated was the piping going underneath of Cornell from roughly, is right there at the old Village Hall. You know where that's located, right? On Cornell Street. There were two water main breaks, one west of Cornell Street, and then two west and one east. Two west of Cornell and one east, right there on Cornell, just south of Sauk Trail. We were thinking about doing that so we won't have to tear that particular area back up once they do it. That's the only one that I know about. And I haven't gotten all the pricing for that. That's something that we were thinking about. But as far as anything else along 223rd Street, I haven't heard anything. I don't know if the pricing is going to be. You cannot, you can't stop the construction because they already have construction dates. So to put it on hold, this is not going to start until next year anyway, because it's too late now. But to put it on hold, because once they get all this in place, they start. You just can't say, hold it, wait a minute, and because they've already got their calendar filled for next year, and we're part of it at the beginning. So if we say, wait a minute, hold up until we get some more money, then this project may not go through because all the funding is there and taken care of and done. Now to stop it and say, wait a minute, let us do this and do that. I don't understand, unless you know there's some money that we can get some money from someplace to do that. And I also identified, yes, you got a lot of places, you call them loops, but they're really valve chambers. You got a lot of valve chambers that need to be worked on in the village, a lot of them. But this one here just happens to be one that we know of that's right there on Cornell. The rest of them you're talking about on Chappelle and everything else, I'm sure there might be some work that needs to be done, but we cannot hold the project up of resurfacing the street because of that. I mean, it is what it is. I wish we did have money to address those issues prior to them resurfacing, but I just don't see where it's coming. It was hard enough now that they shorten our money. That's why we had to pay, because CDBG didn't give us all the money that we asked for to complete this project. And so that's why we had to use MST money. And then also, we were supposed to put in, for the village was supposed to contribute $75,000, but we got it from the state.
So Mayor, I did have a question though, because when I look at page 11, it does show that the village has liability of $55,000 for this project. It is
Page what?
separate from page 11.
Okay, village share, yeah,
Yeah, so it shows it being separate from the county
yeah.
amount, so is that something that we already have in our budget? I mean, you keep saying we don't have any costs.
This is something that we have to come up with. This is something that we have to come up with. It's already been talked, we've already done that.
Okay, so when you're saying it's not going to cost the village anything, it is.
Oh,
cost-
okay, okay. Any other questions? Okay, and you'll get this will be on the next agenda, Madam Clerk. Okay, the next one is security plexiglass in the front counter, or security glass. It was brought to my attention that it was grieved, and it was brought up that we have to put, for safety measures, a plexiglass at the front counter. So we're going to get, right now we're getting bids, and when we get the bids, we'll bring them to you. Just to let you know that it has to be done, it will be done soon. So is there any questions on that? It's just simple, we have to, it's gonna be, the front counter will be plexiglass or glass, and for safety reasons.
Did you mention there was a grievance?
Yes.
So once once the correction is made to the front counter, then are they going to withdraw the grievance?
Yes. Once we address the issue, and that was the issue, then yes, the grievance will go away. But we cannot overlook it. I really don't think, but as we all know, things have changed in the world. So you knowing about it and you feel that it may be a change, if something happens, we don't do anything about it, then we held liable. So, and I
Is
would,
it going from the counter to the ceiling,
Yes.
or do we have, half glass?
that's gonna go from the counter to the ceiling. So, and then they claim they're gonna have, I don't know how that's gonna happen, but they're gonna claim that the counter itself is gonna have a dip so you can pass papers or whatever through. Well, if you notice, if you ever been to the police department, you know they already have one. So this has been open for years and years and years, but now that someone said something that I'm just going to caution on the right side. So this is something that I'll bring the prices back to the board, but it's something that we have to do in the very near future.
Is the amount low enough for them to worry about it or not for
I only got one bid so far, so.
It is below our threshold, I don't worry about it. Otherwise,
Well, I'm hoping, yes, it is. It is below the threshold with installation. I don't like the idea, but to me it sends a different message, but that's just me. I can't, Any other questions? Okay, the last item, holiday meeting schedule. Okay, for the end of this year, now next year, I'll present the board with a schedule for the whole year. The schedules for the year are presented in January. So, but for the rest of this year, I'm looking to cancel the meeting on the 21st of this month, and then also the meeting on the 26th of December. So those two meetings will be canceled. So that means you'll have 3 meetings this month and 3 meetings next month. And on the 26th, that'll be a board meeting. So we'll have to somehow or another, which we will be able to do the second meeting, is to vote on payroll on the second meeting for the whole month. It shouldn't be a problem. It is in the budget, so it's just something we have to do a formality. Okay. Next item, public comment. All questions and comments will be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may be comment on any matter pertaining to the business of the village. Each speaker is allowed 1 opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. Can someone put a microphone up there? I don't see anybody standing up, may not need.
Judy Cast here. During the campaign, you indicated that you weren't certain whether we would have town hall meetings anymore. And I would like to know if that is possible, because some of the things that need to be brought up are going to take a lot longer than 3 minutes, which I will prove shortly.
Okay.
I feel it is needed. During the campaign, promises were made and then promises were broken. There was a statement that it would be an open and transparent administration. I feel when you have an employee that attempts to resign their position and it is tried to be stopped and no other mention is ever made of it, the villagers don't know what's going on, that's not transparent. When you have an employee that is working for a couple of months and the village has not acknowledged that position, that's not open and transparent. It was also said that there would be an open door policy, which I really appreciated. But from that time to right now, I have been accused of coming into this building, asking to see you, and creating all kinds of hell when I couldn't. And I'm going to let you and everybody else know that's a damn lie. I have never come to this village hall and asked to speak with anybody, with the exception of Marva Campbell Pruitt. I do not feel that an open door policy is what it says, an open door policy, when you have to go through another person and explain to them what you want, why you want it, in order to talk to or to see the mayor. That is not open and transparent. A lot of things have come up in the 6 months since you have taken the seat. A lot of things bring a lot of questions to mind. We've had two previous administrations that created all kinds of hell. You were very instrumental in bringing it out, and we appreciated that. We listened to you. We gave you our loyalty and our trust. And we voted for you, and you got in. And now, some of the things that are going on, some of the promises that were made and not carried through, makes it look like following in the steps of the previous administration. And we may be wrong because it's only 6 months. But again, we need a town hall meeting so we can talk. 3 minutes isn't going to cut it. And I appreciate your time.
Okay, first of all, thank you. You're not the only person that's asked about a town hall meeting. And so since it's so popular, I'll try to, in January, to design a town hall meeting, but there's going to be stipulations. It would not be anything political, not be anything that's going to be derogatory. Basically, the way that we did it before. So it seemed to be popular, so yes, I will bring that back. I'm not understanding the part you said of employee tried to resign, but they couldn't resign. And that was, I don't understand that one, but I can talk to you about that after. I do have open door policy. Now, if you're come to see me and if I'm in a meeting or something, quite naturally, if it's very urgent, that's why you probably was asked. But knowing who you are, they shouldn't have asked that. You know, they could have either told you I was in a meeting or I wasn't here. So I'm sure that, because I do get a lot of residents that come, because I am accessible here every day from 9 to 5, every day. And so a lot of times I am in meetings, sometimes I'm in meetings with residents about other items. So if it's something that, you know, and I will instruct from now on, if I'm in a meeting, they kind of know how long it's going to be. If you can wait 5 minutes or if they know that the meeting just started, it's going to be a while, then they can tell you that, but the information should flow and you should kind of know what the time frame is. As far as promises not kept, I'm not understanding that, but like I stated before, the promises I've made, I don't see anything that I've gone back on. I may have found out from some of the constituents or some of the residents that what I was trying to do may not be conducive, but I never went back on a promise. And everything that I have promised, I've either tried to do or have done or will do in the future. So I don't understand that, but I will get in touch and find out from you what you were talking about. I don't want to get into personalities about an employee that tried to resign and couldn't or whatever, because I'm not going to talk about employees right here. This is not where we talk about it, but I will, after this meeting is over with, find out from you what you're talking about and we'll go from there. Any other questions? Okay. We'll start with Trustee Tate for comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This Saturday is the Veterans Celebration. It will start at 11 a.m. On that date. We're going to have State Representative L.G. Sims Jr., who's here and who will make some Veterans Day comments, possibly. And he'll also probably talk about some of his agenda items. Then he's going to be followed by U.S. Representative Robin Kelly. And I think this is her first visit to Sauk Village. She's going to be in Richmond Park at a Veterans Day parade that morning. So I'm hoping that she can march in the parade and then still get here in time to talk to the veterans. As we've done in the past, the veterans will have an opportunity. We like to bitch and moan. But we will have an opportunity to hear some comments, experiences from the veterans. I've been meeting the last couple of months with some of the veterans, and I have some items to address for them. But it'll be a chance to exchange information and find out if there's anything that any of us can do to assist the veterans who are going to be there. Now, mind you, the veterans will not only be from Sauk Village. We've had veterans from most of the surrounding communities who've been here. I only ask, our veterans, nationally, we provide 2 days a year that we honor our veterans. The last two have been disrupted. The last Veterans Day program was disrupted. And then we had the Memorial Day program that was also disrupted. So if people are anti-American, anti-veteran, anti-whatever, I would rather that you not come to the program and be disruptive. Let the veterans have one of the 2 days they get to celebrate, to be with other veterans without the disruption. Following that, we're going to have a luncheon, and we're going to have in the senior center across the hall. That's going to make it convenient. This will be the first time we were able to use that area. And it makes it just a lot easier for our veterans to walk across the hall and to grab a seat and to enjoy the meal and camaraderie and all that good stuff. So I appreciate it being kept in-house and where we can enjoy it. Again, that's the 11-11-11, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Did you want to talk about your flags that you had a fundraiser for?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No comment, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Trustee Zupan?
Nothing except, I want to pass out, I don't know how many of you happen to follow the Sauk page, but they're getting ready to raise water rates if they didn't already. And
They can't hear you.
I'm not sure this was actually, it's not on. That's why you can't hear anybody over here tonight. Sorry, so I happened to notice on Stager's Facebook page, last couple days or so, that if they haven't already, they're getting ready to raise their water rates. And so SSMMA, South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association, had a survey of the residential water rates for the various south suburbs and what kind of water each of the suburbs have. So I was sharing that with each of the board members. And that's really all I have. Thank you.
Trustee Brewer?
Forms to get your event on the Senior Center calendar will be available tomorrow, and you can pick one up at the front desk. Senior Center rental application also will be available if somebody wants to rent the Senior Center, and that will be available at the front desk too. Friday, November 3rd, we just had the first bid list meeting for seniors, and that'll be on the first and the third Friday of each month. Had a pretty good turnout for the bid list, so hoping anybody with skills will come on down on the first and third Friday. The senior community meeting will be Thursday at 5 o'clock. In reference to I want to say this, in reference to the loops. Now, one of my duties as I was assigned was to find out about how much it would cost to do infrastructure looping, and I got the information from Robinson Engineering, and he identified 11 loops, and in those loops he had them in specific areas. Now, as we go through, and since we've been here in May, there are some areas that either neighbor up to these loops or they're right on the loops. So my concern, and I'm gonna put it out there again, is if we are paying to do some repaving or whatever in that particular area, that these loops should be considered. And as I understand it, Robinson Engineering, and I've asked Jim to go back and look into it, that it's a waste of money. Well, not a waste of money, but it should be considered when you're doing these resurfacings to include the loop activity that is needed, the loop corrections to be, that's needed in those particular areas to be included in their upgrades in that particular area. It's the most effective way to spend our tax dollars, and the information is there, and he's working on that sort of stuff. So that's what I mean. I was given this information from Robinson Engineering, and we try to save as much money as we can. If you're going to do work in that area, why not, take in consideration the loop repairs that's needed. And that's the end of my report.
Did you ask Robinson where we were gonna get the money from?
I didn't ask.
Oh, okay, because that's the most important thing.
Identify.
Okay, we can identify, but we can't do anything if we don't have the money. And also, what time is your bid whist on Friday?
6 to 10.
6 in the evening to 10, or 6 to 10 p.m.?
Yes. First and third Friday.
Just put on by, who?
The Senior Advisory Council. All seniors, anybody wants to come?
No, I mean, I'm saying is it because you all had in the bylaws that anything after a certain time of day, it had to be rented. And that's why I was asking who was putting this on.
Senior Advisory.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, isn't that rental fund?
Okay.
If the place is not being rented out.
No, it says in there that anything, okay, I've just asked a question. Trustee Todd? Okay, what is the question? What?
We're preparing for Veterans Day. Thursday and Friday, if the tables are moved already, how are you all going to be there this coming Friday?
Thursday,
Friday?
Thursday, Friday, we're not
So you're coming Thursday?
You said Friday.
She's asking on Thursday. She said Thursday.
I said we were doing setup Thursday and Friday.
We'll be there Thursday at 5, Friday we won't be there.
Thursday is your meeting though?
Yes,
And so that's in the other room?
yes.
So it's not a problem?
Right.
Wonderful. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Trustee Todd? Trustee Jones?
Well, Parks and Rec is always looking for volunteers. We have the decorating of the Santa sleigh. We got it scheduled for December 3rd, starting at 1 p.m. at the fire station. All are welcome to help out. December 9th is the parade/party. The parade will start around 10 a.m. and the party will start between 3 and 3:30 at the community center, where you'll be able to take pictures with Santa Claus and some cocoa, some other good, delicious treats, and I can't tell everything. Like, as usual, I gotta have good surprises coming, so if you miss it,
Santa coming?
you missed it last year. If you missed it last year, you'll miss it again. So
Is Santa coming?
Santa be there.
Okay, that's all I worry about.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have some special treats, so make sure you bring your kids, grandkids. There'll be some good things for them. That's it.
Yeah, if you got a question to ask. It's not working.
We just had a presentation by Cedar. Now, and he stated that, one of them stated about having allocated space to run their program. Have either you or have you spoken with Trustee Brewer about whether we can get space at one location or the other for them to set up?
Well, first, there's no internet in the community center, so that situation is out. I mean, not out, but we don't have internet, so that'll be another delay that we don't need. So I'm not sure if there is, and if we don't have a copy machine that would produce that quick, you know. And I'm not sure if there's internet in the senior center or not.
Internet in the village, hall.
Okay.
That's it? Okay, I just wanted to make a quick comment. And there's not a lot of people here today, but Halloween, the trick-or-treaters, it went down with very, if at all, any incidents. So answer to someone made that question, should we have Halloween next year? I think we should. And but the trunk-or-treat was it was a very successful event, and I just wanted to say that thanks to everybody that came out. It was decided at the last minute that they didn't want to walk down because it was too inclement outside. It was rainy, cold, slippery, but they came inside, and I don't know if you saw the pictures, but they had close to 100 kids. I was told that 90-some books were given out. So you can imagine if the books were given out, there had to be a lot more children, and you had several organizations that came out to sponsor that. So I just want to say kudos to Trustee Jones for planning and a job well done. It was very festive inside. It was warmer. Yes, some people wanted to trick-or-treat out, trunk-or-treat out, so I think it was one gentleman that was out there, but that was just one. But everything else was in there, and there was a lot of candy and a lot of things. I don't know where Marvin came up with the idea, but it was very, very, very good, the way she put it on, the different sauces and candies. It was a sweet table, basically. So those are some of the things that I just want to thank everyone that came out and participated in that. And with that said, I'll accept the motion for adjournment. It was moved by Trustee Zupan. Brewer, okay, y'all need to speak up over there. I didn't see, I didn't look up. And there you go. See, there you go. Trustee Brewer, and then second by Trustee Todd. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll? Okay, I just, thank you. Because we didn't call a roll. Excuse us, we still in a roll call.
This is, I thought we all did the eye on this meeting.
This.
So, just answer. Okay. Trustee Brewer? Say yes. Oh, yes. Grant? Yes. Jones?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Todd? Yes. And Zupan?
Yes.
All right, motion carried, meeting adjourned. Thank you so much. I didn't take that.